Okay, hi sluts. Pussy, mind, body, spirit, soul. What is slut camp? Let's get into it. Blogs immediately. Welcome back. Hi sluts, welcome back to Slut Camp. Camp counselor Emma, obviously, back the fuck at it. Let's fucking go. New episode, new guest. New camper today. Oh my God, freaking out. So we have a very special camper today. This is one I've been trying to get to come on the show for fucking eons. So I'm very excited. Today we have someone near and dear to my heart and my name because her name's also Emma. But the minute I met this fucking girl, I knew she was going to match my freak. Like, she is stunning, compassionate, hilarious, confident, and above anything, psychotic. In the very best way possible, of course. Oh, God. Sluts, without further ado, Emma fucking Johnson.
Where do I look?
Studio flop. Yay! Welcome to camp.
My first podcast.
Welcome to camp. I hope you packed heavy.
Tequila.
Yeah.
Arise.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do our slut
intended.
affirmation. You know, this is going to be a psychotic and scary episode, so like keep up. Before we dive into you, I'm fucking dying. You're like literally. Before we dive into you, I want us to do our slut affirmation. So you're familiar with what these are.
Of course.
Hi,
slut campers.
I look everyone dead in the eyes. I tell you what you're going to say when you go and shake ass tonight with your girls, because it's Friday night, Saturday night when you're listening to this. You're getting ready, you're doing your makeup, you're looking sexy and cute. You're going to get a drink. Tequila, if you know, you know. Raise your glasses in the air.
Ooh, ooh.
And you're going to say to yourself, I will walk into the bar with my nipples hard and my chin high. Take a number and get in line. Cheers.
Cheers to that. Love you.
Do you want to talk about our weekend? Should we talk about what we did?
Yeah, you start.
We went to this speakeasy. So our friend was in town visiting. And
you know, a little sig inside.
yeah, it was like a sig
A little
inside.
dirty martini moment.
Little like crystallized shot glasses of like $85 shots of tequila.
Really, really loud symphony music in your ear.
Like 1920s like beep bop music.
And it just kept on getting gradually louder.
I felt like I was in a haunted mansion at Disneyland. Anyways, that's the scene. Random famous people coming in and out. It's a very exclusive place.
There was a rapper for sure there. I just didn't know who he was. I'm not familiar.
I don't know either, but I also thought he could be an actor, like maybe. I don't know if I can know. No? Okay, but I noticed that you started cozying up to his little friend. So talk about that. How did that happen?
How did that happen? I mean, he cozied up right next to me. Our friend got up and she was going to the bathroom. And then she was like, I just met this guy. He was wearing a trench coat.
He was. And it was like 80 degrees.
So we were playing a game at the table.
Yeah.
And then these guys like came up and sat right next to us. So then this like taller guy was sitting next to me. And I noticeably saw he just put on a UFC fight and was just watching that. Which usually those are like, maybe you would say the worst kind of guys. Why is that a worst kind of guy?
I just think it was the setting.
I mean,
like,
it's fine that you're into it. I just don't know why you're in a speakeasy watching.
It's the location. I think
fight.
like boys do that typically, like regardless of where they are. But when it's like you're out with like one of your guy friends, or I don't know what they were.
That's the tea.
That's the tea.
I mean, it's New York.
Yeah. And you're watching the fight. Like also in this like very like it just is very pretentious to me in that setting. Because he was just
in
like,
that
I don't
setting,
care
of course, you ask yourself, what do these guys do? Who are they?
Yeah.
The one guy starts talking to us. He starts going into his ballet career.
Oh, that was crazy.
Which was interesting enough.
Docu-series with Alicia Keys. That was crazy.
Are you for real? Did I miss that part?
Yeah, because you were like fucking sex eyes at the other
I was sex eyes to the other guy. Well, the other guy ends up being a baker.
Yeah.
As we think. He's definitely not a baker.
No.
The Rolex was throwing me off.
He was definitely like a Nepo
So this
baby.
is my theory. When guys that maybe are successful or don't want to share what they have to do, or not have to do, but what they
do for a living.
They don't want to share it with you. Why do you think that is?
Either because it's boring and it's like finance, or it's like
Because
probably
they want to
shady
like
as
bag
fuck.
a nice girl. I am a nice girl.
No,
I
I
just
think
wanted
it's
to know
shady.
what you wanted to do.
Emma, I want you to give the girls a quick intro.
Okay. I can do it.
to who you are, where you're from, a quick summary of your dating history, starting from when you lost your virginity to now being in New York City.
I grew up in Ohio, Midwest girl, youngest of 5. And
Baby.
at this point in my life, all of my siblings are married, and I'm the youngest who has
Right
fled
now.
to New York, and, I'm very happy.
How many years apart are you from your next
My
oldest?
my oldest brother is 11 years apart from me,
Okay.
and I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. I didn't lose my virginity.
Yeah, when did you lose your virginity?
I didn't lose my virginity until my 3rd week of college, freshman year.
Wait, same. Like, I think literally the 3rd week.
I met him in a frat basement on
Classic.
a pole.
Oh, on a
Right?
pole.
Yeah,
You were
on a
both
pole.
on the pole, or you
We were
were
both on the pole.
Cool.
Then on the wall.
Oh.
I remember that moment. I felt so free. I was like, I'm in college now.
Totally.
Like, this is like a frat guy.
Like Lana Del Rey, I'm fucking crazy, but I'm free.
Exactly. That that would sum up my life, to be honest. We'll get
Honestly,
into
yeah,
it.
I would agree.
Both of us. Would you count yourself in?
100%.
And then it started this relationship with us, right?
Oh, you like started dating him after that?
Well, I wouldn't consider me dating anyone in my life. But
We have to unpack that.
we, of course, have to unpack that. But at this point in my life, I had really only done, just the 3rd base. Is that sex?
No.
2nd base? What's 3rd base? Like 6th base?
Like oral,
Yeah.
but you hadn't done like P in the V.
P in the V, absolutely not. Just a little context. This guy got back together with his ex-girlfriend of freshman year. So you know how we're watching Tell Me Lies?
Sick show.
Sick show, but I think a lot of my off the wall in college was due to losing my virginity, and then the guy I lost my virginity to, like, literally fully stopped talking to me and got back together with his freshman ex
Fuck. Happens to the
and
worst of
paraded
us.
it around
Yeah.
me.
That's so Steven of him.
Very Steven of him.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was like your first like dip in the pool
I mean, yeah.
and sexually.
I would say college was a bit crazy. I would say college was a bit crazy.
Did you date anyone in college?
I've never dated anyone in my
You've never had
entire
a boyfriend,
life.
period?
I've never had a boyfriend, period. I feel like now I see myself not dating anyone in my life as more of a good thing because I've had so many random experiences
Totally.
and so many situationships that I think it's honestly, and then my friend put it into good perspective that people date someone for like 3 years, however long, and then you're just dating that one person. But like for me, I mean for you as well, we're just
Yeah.
dating a bunch of people.
Yeah, I always say like, why can't we just like a date to date? Like, why is that like dating with like an agenda of like it ending up somewhere? Like that feels like very inorganic.
That does seem like
Forced.
it's always seemed forced to me.
Little societal pressure of like, I need to be in a relationship. Like I have so many friends who are like, I need a boyfriend. I need a man to do this. I'm like, do you though? Like, do you need that, or do you think you need that?
Do you know what is why it's so easy for us to see that from the outside? So I always tell myself I'm like the third party outsider.
Yeah. Same.
All of my friends around me, I'm like, I can see them. I can see what they're doing for how it is. And you can relate to that. Like you can see it from the third party outside perspective.
100.
Because I've never allowed myself to be like, no, I'm fully in this with you. I'm dating you.
When did you move to New York?
I moved to New York.
And why?
I never wanted to move to New York. And that's why it's so special to me.
Why?
I love the city more than anything because I never wanted to move here. And I think it made it more special for me that I didn't have any expectations for it besides
What made you come here?
well, I was supposed to move to London. I was supposed to move to London and work for a modeling agency.
Oh.
And I remember literally taking that little interview and I was going to move to London and I was going to do the whole thing. And I was living in Florence at the time. It fell apart. Fell apart just right there in a day. You know those things that just happen. It just falls apart and you're like, what the heck? Got into a university and everything fell apart and I couldn't go and I had to completely reroute my end of college plan. So then I ended up getting an internship in PR. I got a little fashion PR internship.
Love.
and I moved here.
Classic.
My parents dropped me off in the minivan on 34th Street in front of the New Yorker Hotel. A rat, literally, we open up the door, a rat scurries apart. Like, this is my mother from the Midwest who's never been to New York City in her life. And she goes, I was like, this is my first time in New York,
You're
too.
like,
I'm like,
perfect. Your first time in New York and you just were like gonna
I
live
never
there?
had been. Yeah, I never.
That is insane.
I literally got dropped off and I never went back.
That's awesome.
And then I moved to Bushwick. And I've been a Brooklyn girl ever since.
And now me and Emma live
How did we meet?
in Williamsburg together.
We live in Williamsburg
Like
together.
5 blocks apart, basically.
We live a great life.
We live an insane life. We have a cutie little friend group. We met through my roommate.
I remember the way that you carried yourself, and I was like, dude, same.
We had like this like aura.
Yeah.
So it's that Emma energy.
It is the Emma energy.
What's your sign?
I'm an Aquarius. Through and through.
Duh. Okay, I want to get into some questions.
Okay, go
I want to
for
get
it.
into some. I want to like talk to you about dating a little bit more in the sense of
Yeah, let's do it.
confidence, because I think one thing about you that I admire so much and that I see in myself is confidence.
Thanks,
You're
Sam.
such a confident person, and that's super hard to be. Like, it's so hard to be a confident person because there's like all of this like, you know, energy around that's just like pressure and what someone's going to think about me, perception from other people, basically. And I feel like
Absolutely.
you quiet that noise, and I feel like I do too. So
I
my
always have.
question, I know, which I love. My question for you is, how did you become confident in dating in general, hooking up, guys in general, and what advice would you give to the girlies in our 20s who are struggling to have self-respect and confidence amongst all this like rejection and terrible dating culture? Because we are in it, but like I feel like we rise to the top, and I want to hear your POV as to how you think you do that.
So what's the word when you're doing drugs and you're like, this is a...
Euphoric?
No, I would say it's a... You are doing...
Like a bad trip? Like, where are you going?
You have to know where I'm going with this. It's like when I'm dating a guy, it's almost like, oh, by the way, just random. Like, I feel like being confident in who you are is like maybe not telling your friends that you're gonna go meet up with a guy later.
Yes, I was just talking about that last episode.
And since I was like in high school, since I started just talking to boys, my friends would always say that they literally were like, Emma, who are you dating? Who was that? What is this? What is this? And it's like, enjoy your own life. I kind of sometimes overshare, but that's in the moment. But like, I really have
so fucking similar. It's insane.
I have so many stories. I go out there and I do it. I do the damn thing. So my advice for people that want to be more confident is to actually reflect on what you want out of life and what you want out of talking to a man.
Yeah.
Or whoever it may be. Just actually, my dream man, you know how every girl says, they're like, I just want a guy that I can turn my brain off and just like be a woman.
Like a trad girl.
You know, when people when girls are like, I just want to turn my brain off with a man, like that's my man.
Yeah.
Is I want to turn my brain off with him.
I feel that the statistic and the general consensus about dating in New York is that it's statistically the worst place to date in the
I
United
hope
States.
they didn't spend that much money on that study because this has been a damn thing.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, do you agree with that? Do you think it is? What is like your perspective on dating in New York City?
I'm still single. I have, in the past year, never grown so much. If you want to get married and settle down, New York City is not the city for you until like what? Like, I don't know, maybe not put an age on it, but like if you want to grow and actually prosper, and I mean, you can do that anywhere, but I'm saying really like just grow in like a year a lot. I think like New York's the place to be.
100.
And if you want to grow in your dating life as well, I feel like that's what this is for. That is for dating many people. That's the fun of it.
I agree completely.
Why do you think they made an entire show, Sex and the City, about New York City?
Yes!
Why do you think they did that? And
Yes!
why do you think all of those episodes still stand true? We watch it back and we're like,
oh my God, it's so relatable.
No, oh my God.
Yeah, because it's literally, it's like, it's a loop.
It's like talking about the gay man in New York City. You're like, I don't know if he's really gay. I don't know if he's straight.
Yes.
Like the guy sitting there, like, are they together? Are they?
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw this TikTok today. It was like, if you think a guy is gay, like if you're like dating a guy or seeing a guy and you're like, wait,
I saw it too. I saw it too.
How crazy was that? I was like, totally. Because men just like crave validation from other guys. They don't respect women enough.
You think that's really what it is?
Internal misogyny, or like they're physically attracted to girls, but they can't like but these are the guys that like can't like get in touch with that respect to women, and that's where they're like seeking that validation from men. Do you agree or do you disagree?
Honey, I agree. Dating in New York is always connected to the apps.
100.
Literally, you know that really, the show, it's so good.
Yes.
Nobody Wants This. In it, I was watching with my mother, who also, actually, I want to say the funny thing about my mother is that she was in town this past weekend, and I was like,
were you telling her about dating?
I was telling her about my dating. She always asks me.
Yeah, I want to know what her advice is to you too, or like what
my mom got married to my father, and they got engaged within 6 months, and they fell in love and had 5 children. I've always just been independent.
Yeah.
Always from day one.
Same.
Yeah. But that's my advice to people. Be more independent.
Do shit for yourself, not for anyone else.
Do shit with men and don't tell your friends until
until it matters.
Until it matters.
I said that like a few episodes ago. I was like, obviously,
it'll
like,
get you an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, I mentioned this guy to my friends. Like, wait, who is that? And I'm like, oh, it's this guy I've been seeing for like 3 months. So, like, what?
Is that just really slutty of us, or is
no? It's not slutty. It's just like keeping things to yourself, because I also believe in this whole like weird woo woo shit where like I feel like if I speak something into existence, it goes away.
Back to my mother, she goes, Emma, I know you don't want to talk about it because you think it's gonna fall apart as soon as you say something about it. And I was like, why? Mother, it's because it is. I literally I was dating this lawyer, and this was like a year ago. I was in such a different place. I was like a newbie to New York, and I was 23 and this guy was 29, and and he was
been there.
Can I just talk about this for a second?
Yeah, please.
The only men that I date are 29, and I feel like it's a curse in my life.
Mine's 27.
Mine's 29. It's always 29. After we would have sex, he would sing me a song. Like fully sing me a song.
Wait, like he would pull out his guitar?
He'd pull out his guitar, and then he'd like sound like never was a wise man.
Ooh.
Honestly.
How long did you see him for?
A month.
Best month of your life.
Not of my life, but definitely of 23. He like made me dinner. The second time I ever saw him, he made me dinner. He made a roux sauce. Oh. He made a roux. Like, have you ever? And he messed it up. And then also, I sat on the couch and I'm like he's with his shirt off. He's making me pasta. He's Italian. He had those like black and white checkered kitchen. You know,
cute.
And he's making me pasta. And then I look at his computer, his like lawyer computer, and he has how to make bacon in the oven. Because he was making me bacon pasta, like bacon and like,
my God,
which
like
was
pancetta.
Really cute. I was like, how does this guy not know how to make bacon in the oven? Don't you just put it in? No pun intended. My whole point in this is that I had sex with this guy a few weeks ago, and I'm at a way different point in my life. I'm way more confident. I'm way more like I'm incredibly happy.
Why did it end in the first place?
We were walking to the subway after like going to the market on a Sunday. Like that's where it escalated to, right? Just like going to a market. What is that?
That's like
and
dangerous
I was
territory.
Like fully in a trench coat and a hat. I looked like so girlfriend.
And
we're like walking to the subway, and he went in to kiss me, and then I pulled away and I left.
What?
Yeah, that's what happens with me.
You ended it?
I ended up
did you get the ick, or like what?
I don't want to kiss you in front of the subway stop. I never saw him for another year. So then I saw him again. Okay. He like DM'd me on Instagram, and did I DM him? I DM'd him. I DM'd him and I was like, I'm dog sitting on the Upper West Side. Just thinking about you, like want to meet up. He didn't respond until 2 weeks later. He goes, still dog sitting? I was like, no babe, it's past, but like want to get together, yada yada yada. We get together. Oh my God.
Did you hook up?
That was so hot. I called an Uber to the Upper West Side, and I was like, oh my God, I'm about to see this guy again. And then I like walk up. I open up the door. He opens up the door. And I look at him, and I was like, hey, stranger. And then you know what happened from there.
Duh.
Right away, too.
Fucking
right away.
Town.
On the floor. You know what actually happened that night?
What? It just
I
keeps
got in
getting
the
worse.
Uber that you called for me. Because ladies,
If he doesn't call you an Uber, ghost him. So let's listen the fuck up. Because
is
if
a tip.
this ever happens to you, run.
run for the hills. Well, I think I've cracked a code. And you know when you get a guy's number, whether he asks you or you ask him, hey, let's get each other's digits, you know? If he pulls up that dial pad
Where you put in your number. Not
right.
Not like
and
message.
he does not open up the contact in the
Or
actual
iMessage.
contact to add you. Right. No, it's not going to happen.
No, he's never fucking calling you.
He's never fucking calling you.
I know
It's
that
not-
you've
it's not-
experienced that.
You thought it was for real, but it's not for real. It's just another New York random guy that you see at the Spaniard, and you never get actually the full detail. I think a guy
Yes.
only really likes you if he puts in your contact.
I went to
That's my track record. When he pulls
yes.
out that dial, it's not happening.
No, negative.
That means he
Negative.
doesn't care enough.
Thumbs down.
He doesn't care enough to go to the next menu.
No, I went to Joy Face. I met this beautiful man. We had like a beautiful diffmo. It was like, a moment. I was not even like wanting to go on a date with this man. I just wanted to like literally fuck him. And he pulled up the dial thing and I put my number in and then I like left and then I never heard from him. And I was like, what? I was literally like, what the And I was so upset.
Yeah, and you're like, but we had such a beautiful time
That had
together.
never happened to me. I'm like, what the fuck was the problem? Like, I was just like so upset. Like, I remember telling all my coworkers, being like, I met this man. I thought he was like husband. Like, we had
Do you
the
know
best
what?
night.
And it honestly could be some error to this situation. It's like when they put in the dial thing. Oh my God, should I give the Australian story?
Yeah.
Again, 29.
Where'd you meet him?
Spaniard.
Ew.
I met him at the Spaniard.
Fuck, worst place ever. Do you like that place? Fuck you.
Emma.
That is where I met my 54-year-old husband with 2 kids. Lover.
That's exactly. I need you to be honest with yourself.
Well, I will never
I need
go
you to
back
be honest
there.
with yourself.
I'm honest.
It is a
And
West Village stomping ground that
For,
we
like,
will once
12-year-olds.
we will one day, and I think it's in this next year, we'll think back and we'll be like, that was a time. We're still young. We can go. We're allowed to go.
we can totally go. I mean, there's like 54-year-old men there.
This is where the story takes place. This is a night that I went out. I remember the first time across the bar I saw the Australian. And I was like,
I love an Australian.
and I was like,
fuck.
not that cute.
Not cute.
Not for me.
Okay.
You know those kind of nights that you're like, I only want to have a good time with girls.
Yes, I want to shake out some of my girls.
And by the way, you shouldn't have, every night you're going out, you should not be worried about getting a guy.
I don't think that should ever be on the top of your mind.
No, but I know
When
it's
you're with your
easy
girls.
though when you're single and you're like, I got to get a guy.
Yeah.
That honestly negates the purpose for having a good time and being spontaneous. You know, when your friend is talking to a guy and then his friend is standing right there and you're like, okay, I got to do the thing, you know. So he goes, where are you from? And I go, Ohio. And he goes, where's that? And I was like, you know, like America, Ohio. And he was like, what? And I was like, okay, fine. I'll get up and talk to this man. So I went up and I talked to him. And then I think a lot of good things happen in life when you literally aren't trying.
Yes.
And that was what was happening. I wasn't trying.
You're someone who goes up to guys, which
Yeah.
I also do. And I think that's hard for a lot of girls. Like, that's the one thing where it's like, it's really hard for a lot of girls to go to a bar by themselves or go to a concert by themselves or do anything by themselves. Like, because that they're lacking that, like, 1, confidence, 2, independence, which is super normal because your whole life you grew up somewhere, you built this entire like kingdom of friends and family and whatever, and you go somewhere new and it's like you don't have any of that. Maybe you do, but like now you're an adult and you don't need to rely on someone else. So it's like going out to bars by yourself is so scary because it's like, wait, I don't know. Like, I'm just gonna look like a weirdo. Like, you think about what other people are gonna think. So then by proxy, going up to people is that much scarier because of what they're going to think about you. What is your like thought process when you're like, I'm going to go up to that person?
How exciting it's going to be. We went on like a couple dates. And like obviously like a lot of my relationships are strictly just hooking up with people.
Same.
That's New York for you. And if that's not just your 20s then but
some people are like not about that. Like, they don't want to just hook up. They want to like go out on like dates with people and like connections, like deeper meanings.
Honey,
of
I do it all the
things.
time.
Same. You can do that and hook up with people.
You
can do that and be a fucking dirty slut.
Yeah. We were like hooking up for a while, and I think I brought it up and I said we should go on a date, and he was like, oh my God, like, does that mean I have to bring clothes? And I was like, yeah, you have to put your clothes on for this. And I said, don't forget your wallet. And so he came with his wallet. We conquered. We put on a cute outfit. I wore a fucking blazer. I became obsessed with him when he wore a good outfit.
Are you getting hurt more than you're hurting?
Yeah. Emma is a confident girl, but when it comes to, you know, I've never been in love.
Have you ever developed feelings for a guy?
A guy told me he loved me once and I almost threw up.
Why do you think that is?
I want to fall in love. Yeah. The question wasn't anything that had to do with me falling in love.
What's the worst date you've ever been on where you're just like, what the actual fuck was that?
Holy shit. Probably when this guy said that Kansas is the Midwest, which we could fully debate.
Is it not?
But literally, I'm like, I walk up in my cute little heels, my trench coat. This guy was
Wait,
not
what do
deserving.
you call Kansas?
Kansas is like not the Midwest.
What do you say, like middle America? What is it called?
Kansas is its own
But
thing.
like, if you're like in like the middle
But this
of
is
the
my
United States,
point.
like-
This is my point. Is I was like, I'm from Ohio. I'm from the Midwest, and he goes, Kansas is the Midwest, not Ohio.
What?
First of all, sir.
Wait, what?
First
do you
of all,
know like
sir,
geography works?
Do you know how the Midwest works? Ohio is 1,000% the Midwest.
Maybe he was flipping them in his head.
Now, this was a bad date because he fully, like, at the end of it, oops, he goes, oh my God, I can't, like, I literally was sitting there, like, having a great time for a second, and then he goes, I want to fuck you so bad. And I was like, oh,
in like a not
sir.
hot way, like
in
it
a
wasn't.
not hot way.
Ugh.
And I was like, we were just talking about our childhood. Did that turn you on or something? Like, I'm fully confused. And it was just out of the blue. And I was like, I remember I was like, okay, this has been fun, but I'm
Gotta go?
not having sex with you.
What is your advice to girls that struggle to like get there when they're having sex? Like have never had an orgasm.
Oh,
I know. Do you mentally go somewhere? Like how did you learn to have an
honey,
orgasm?
go to your happy place.
I'm having a panic attack, I go to like Maui. But when I'm having sex, like I'm just thinking about how I feel, not how like I'm making them feel.
No. You should be worried about how you're making them feel. That's even better.
Really?
Yeah, are you kidding me? Don't just think about yourself.
Why?
But I think the big there's only so many ways that I can have a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my suggestion is to practice makes perfect, right?
Well, there are some girls that we know who like have never owned a vibrator, have never like masturbated, whatever. Like they don't know even what like
this goes back to my mantra on life is that if you want to have a damn good time, you have a damn good time. You enjoy the good things out of life, and those are good things. Now, are they scary? Yes. The scariest things in life are always the best, right?
Sometimes.
So if you want to get off and you want to feel better, especially in that moment, I'd suggest look at them. I don't know. Look at them. Look how they're feeling. Doesn't it feel great? And then like go from there.
100%.
I don't know. You're not with the fucking right person if you're not like, you know, like if you really just want to get off, then do it by yourself. But if you want to actually like have a connection with somebody, that's awesome. Like that's the best feeling.
I think it's hard
then
for girls.
think about the person that you're with that's with you and how.
Well, I think that's why it's hard for girls to get off, because if they're with someone random or like they're having like a one night stand, it's like they can't really get over that mental blockage of like, how does my stomach look right now? Or how do my
this
boobs
totally
look right
negates from like having fun and like doing your damn thing. But like, I think everyone should be a little bit picky. You should be doing it, but don't just do it to do it.
Yeah, and I have friends in college who did that, and I feel like that's just not gonna be beneficial for you in the long run. Like if you're just like, I need to put out just to like, you know, have the experience, it's like,
oh my God, no.
That's the problem. Like a lot of girls are doing that.
No, be a little classy about it.
We're gonna play a game.
Okay.
I don't know what to call it. Right now I'm calling it police sketch. Basically, I'm going to give you this piece of paper I just found. So I'm going to just describe this guy to you, and you're just going to draw what you think he looks like. Okay. This man I met during COVID, and he lived in the Inland Empire of California, which was like interesting. And he would drive his van. He had a van, an orange van, like Spicoli and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And he would drive said van to the beach every weekend and stay in his van for multiple days at a time. He had a bed inside. It was decorated like the 70s exploded and came in his fucking van, like all over the place. He was rarely wearing a shirt. He was permanently tan. He wore Speedos a lot. He would always play his guitar after we had sex. The first time we had sex, he had to like dismount me and basically go outside of the van to go get a condom. And we were like fully in public, like in a parking lot. He dumped me by saying he met another girl on TikTok and it was a different feeling with her. But still send me TikToks and
All right, it's always a different feeling with everyone.
Yeah. He has a lot of followers and he lives
by the way, I'm totally
through his 2016 virality career. I love how you're drawing like a full landscape. Like I just wanted you to draw the guy. What the fuck? Okay, show it. Okay,
So
describe.
I have here the sun shining. It's California. The bus. This is not really a bus, but imagine a bus. This is the guy down here. He has a water polo in his hand, and that's a little blunt because he likes to smoke and play water polo.
Love it.
By the bus.
Did you draw his penis?
No,
what'd
because
you guess?
I've never
What would you
accurately
guess?
seen it. So
What would you guess?
What I'd guess?
It was my first orgasm, like in my
Long-
life.
Long and skinny.
Probably, yeah. I would say
Do you
so.
not remember?
No, it was in 2020. We've come a long way since then. Literally. Do you have your mans in your head?
Yeah, of course.
All right, go.
All right, let's think circa 2018.
That's a really good circle.
I'm thinking frat.
Okay.
Okay. Sigma is in the name. Obviously, we're being a little ambiguous, but triple Gemini. This is the worst man
Ew.
I've ever known. And liar, manipulator, Steven from Tell Me Lies. That is who this man is through and through. Great at sex. Good sex. Obviously, if he's a terrible man, he has to be good at something.
Was he short,
blacklisted
tall?
me from his frat.
Oh, okay. Did he do drugs?
A lot of drugs involved. Let me see. Yes.
So I envision him having.
He wasn't
like,
in Sigma
baby...
Nu, but close.
Okay, well.
Oh, wait, does that say no bitch?
No, I wrote Sigma Nu bitch on it. Okay.
Right. Oh.
He has like weird, kind of spiky hair, maybe a thinning a little bit, I imagine. He has stubble, but also this represents the cocaine that he was doing probably.
Right.
And
he was always sniffling. Let's just say that.
Okay, yeah. And he's like angry. Like he is just like
Very angry.
Oh, good.
Very
I love that I
angry.
got that. He has one very large hand representing, I don't really know how big his dick was, so maybe big hand, big dick. So he uses one hand for something and then the other hand represents something else.
Okay.
I didn't really know
What his pants
he's built like a
look
fucking
So
easel.
he didn't make any.
He's built like an easel.
Built like an easel. He literally ruined my life.
I think that's all we have today.
It's been a pleasure.
Ladies and sluts. Emma fucking Johnson, camper number 3. Cheers.
Cheers to you. And cheers
Take a
to
number
Slut Camp.
and get in line. Mwah.
Welcome back.